Hello and welcome back to a new episode of Grand Tactician The Civil War, where we are playing the Union career mode. Last episode we fought in the second battle of Fairfax, where we unfortunately suffered a major defeat. We still hold some ground in Virginia, and Washington is still under threat of capture. So let us find out if we can change that and if we can send the rebels south. And we have received news from the Trans-Mississippi area. There was a battle fought at Wilson's Creek and the Confederacy was victorious once more. The Western Army is unable to pursue and the Army of the West rallies near Rolla. And our own force is still getting replenished and it takes about 45 days until they are back in action. And currently no better weapons are available for our forces. And we can see that some forces are moving up to attack the rebels once more. It is a shame that we cannot participate in this battle, but let's hope that our forces will achieve victory. But of course, victory is not an option. There was another disaster at Fairfax and the 2nd Division is once more fleeing in a panic. But we are taking them once again. Maybe it will work this time. And the second attack once more ends with disaster for our cause. Fairfax is starting to become our Isonzo. And we can do a little bit more fundraising to get some more money for our cause. And the majority of our army has withdrawn closer to Washington. And finally some good news. There was a glorious victory at Hampton Roads. The James River Squadron is in retreat and 4 enemy ships got sunk. And we still have to wait for 36 days until our soldiers are back on the field. And the soldiers are getting one once more. And we have now passed the Militia Act 4. Our contracts have extended to 3 years and the government prepares for a long war. The states are struggling to fill quotas and new regiments are getting formed. And we have finally achieved victory at Fairfax. The Army of the Potomac is fleeing in a panic and the support for the rebel causes is finally wavering. Let's see how this looks like. Yes, the rebels are falling back. And in response to our victory, the Confederacy passed the Militia Act 3, trying to get as many soldiers fielded as somehow possible. And to make sure that we can keep up with the soldiers, we should get a horse. And I've decided that a cavalry horse would be a good decision. We can see the 2nd Division on the march, pursuing the enemy. And now down here we have another battle. And this battle led to a disaster at Aquia Harbour. The 2nd Division is once more fleeing. And we can see that the army of the Shenandoah over here started to move again. Further to the northwest, the 3rd Division is holding this crossroad and the 2nd Division is trying to get the supply depot at Manassas. Our own forces are still holding our defensive line around Washington. And tomorrow our regiment will be on the field again. Oh, here the army of the Shenandoah is driving back the 2nd Division. And the 3rd Division is on the move. We need to desperately reinforce this area, otherwise the rebels will push us back. And we can finally see that a large amount of our soldiers is moving. It looks like we are marching down into the Fredericksburg area. And now it is once more time for battle. The 5th Division of the Army of Northeastern Virginia is in contact with Hugger's Division of the Army of the Peninsula. In total we have about 26,600 soldiers, 2,800 cavalrymen and 71 artillery pieces. The rebels field about 18,700 soldiers, 2,600 cavalrymen and 32 guns. And as it looks like our reinforcements are going to arrive on the battlefield a lot earlier than the rebel reinforcements. Also, we can see that the Army of the Potomac and the Army of the Shenandoah have recaptured Manassas Railroad Junction. Gentlemen, we have October 2nd, 1861. Our scouts report the enemy is near Aquia, Harbour, Virginia, and our army is preparing for battle. We are facing Lee's division under command of Robert E. Lee himself, with an unknown strength of men and artillery pieces. The enemy army is green and the morale is reported to be broken. Reports indicate their supply situation is outstanding. The supply state of our own army is outstanding as well. And as far as we can tell, the enemy army has dug in around Prospect Hill, and it looks like they build defenses. Our own forces are coming from the north, and we have to first cross the Rappahannock River, and then we can march further down to Lee. So far we have not made any contact with the enemy, and we can cross the Rappahannock unopposed. We're now ordered to deploy to engage. Let's get our soldiers forward. And the 5th Pennsylvania is already on the field. They only have 360 soldiers. They are commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Ulysses S. Grant himself. And they have the Springfield rifled musket. More forces are coming up under the 4th Pennsylvania and the 11th Massachusetts. Our own forces are also finally coming up, and with our 900 soldiers we are one of the largest regiments on the field. Unfortunately, Grant and the 5th and the 4th Pennsylvania do not want to wait until reinforcements are there and decided to attack the enemy already. This, without a doubt, is going to end in them getting repulsed. Let's get our soldiers forward and get ready for the next attack wave. 4th Pennsylvania is already falling back. 11th Massachusetts is still holding on. And it looks like that the Portsmouth artillery took some casualties. I want our soldiers to group up over there, and then we're going to rush out some skirmishers so that we can maybe attack those artillery pieces. More of our soldiers are coming up, and then we might be able to do a large concentrated attack. Skirmishers are sent out, enemy artillery is falling back, and our skirmishers are going to attack the 13th North Carolina, while we are going to attack the 1st North Carolina. Let us find out if we can do something over here. Fry's detachment is coming up. No, soldiers, do not rush so far out. Nope, 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 nope. Stay back, stay back. And now, if possible, light up Fry's detachment to make sure that these guns are not getting recaptured. We are now in contact. We are inflicting some casualties, and we have lost one of our soldiers already. And we are now ordered to engage at will. We are heavily outnumbered by our enemy, and soon we will have to withdraw. Let's just hope that we can destroy those artillery pieces before we have to disengage. Over here the 1st Michigan is coming up. They have the Springfield rifle musket, meaning that they have a good range advantage over the enemy, while we still have to get uncomfortably close. Our skirmishers are about to get driven back. They have suffered 4 casualties and they cannot stay on the field for a long time. And even though we ordered them to, our soldiers are not attacking Fry's detachment. They are instead shooting on the 1st North Carolina cavalry. Those cavalrymen seem to be completely out of range though, giving us some options to fire. Still, try to open up on those artillery pieces. We are now under direct artillery fire, and soon I will break off this attack. Yeah, these skirmishers are now about to break. And currently it looks like we are going to suffer a minor defeat. And movement from our allied forces have seemingly almost stopped. They're gathering themselves, but we are now about the only ones in combat. And it is about time that we disengage. We have to fall back. Our men are getting nervous. We have suffered 36 casualties and the enemy artillery only took 1 casualty. We did some damage to their cavalry. And the 13th North Carolina also suffered a couple casualties. Once more forces are back on the battlefield, I'm going to try to get around the enemy flank. Maybe this will give us the edge that we need. Let's order our soldiers on this section. And open up the battlefield for our forces. It looks like the men are gathering on our right. And our center has stopped moving. The 1st Michigan is still able to open fire. Apparently without the option for the enemy to fire back. Over here the 16th New York is coming up. They have the Springfield musket, meaning that the enemy will have them in range. So far no Confederate reinforcements have arrived. And our soldiers, nope, I stand mistaken. The enemy is marching on our right flank. They are partially in our rear. If High Command doesn't decide to attack quickly, we will be trapped. Our morale is confident. The soldiers are fighting on. 9th Virginia has suffered over 100 casualties already. And I'm ordering our soldiers further on the flank. With some luck, this is going to give us the edge that we need. This attack is looking very promising. Price detachment that captured those artillery pieces is about to be driven back. And I'm once again ordering skirmishers to be deployed. I'm going to send them further on the edge. And once we are in position, we are going to attack the flank of the 13th North Carolina. Some rebel forces are crossing the line. The 16th Virginia is marching up. And we have the detachment under Fry falling back, and the 9th Virginia is also falling back. Meaning that the rebels have now officially a hole in their line. 13th New York, march up on the 13th North Carolina, and your skirmishers also have to march up. We might have the option to hit them in the rear. Our artillery is starting to shell the enemy, and over here we are building up a defensive line as the rebels are in pursuit. But they still have a long way to go. Currently it looks like we are going to suffer a minor defeat, but let's hope that this does not materialize and that we can turn this into a win. 13th North Carolina has shifted. They outnumber us, but they appear to be flanked. Maybe we are able to break their morale quicker than they are to kill us off. And if the 11th Massachusetts would open up on their flank, this would simply be perfect. Our morale is confident. The morale of our skirmishers is also still confident. 13th North Carolina is now up to 43 casualties. And we are inflicting large amounts of casualties on them. 31st New York is falling back. And over here we have the 3rd Rhode Island coming up. And I am thinking about taking command of the 3rd Rhode Island Infantry. This is going to cost us some prestige, but we have the option to start attacking the rear of the 13th North Carolina. Policemen, you need to engage the enemy at long range, and then we can drive them back. The 13th North Carolina is trying to fall back, and we are in pursuit. A couple good hits and they will flee in a panic. We have now taken 54 casualties. Our skirmishers have taken 6 casualties and they're still on the field. And we have the North Carolina battery in front of us. Let's destroy those artillery pieces while we still can. It looks like we are finally able to break through the first enemy defensive line. And if we are quick enough, we can do this before they catch our rear. Third Rhode Island is currently battling the cavalry of the 1st North Carolina. And the 4th North Carolina battery took 3 casualties already. Our skirmishers are about to be destroyed by artillery fire. But it's better that these artillery pieces focus on our skirmish line instead of our infantry. And we see that the 4th North Carolina battery is apparently shifting. Those horses are also shifting. Their flank is exposed. And maybe Pemberton's brigade commander wants to capitulate as he is simply running in front of our line. Enemy artillery is now wavering. Very good. This is what we want to see. 3rd Rhode Island is currently blocking the field of fire of every unit behind him, but they could simply march around. Over here more of our forces are coming up, and we soon have to drive them back as we are running out of time. More rebel reinforcements are arriving on the battlefield soon. And yes, we were able to drive back the 4th North Carolina battery. And over here we are now also starting to drive back enemy cavalry. Very good, very good. I want our soldiers to get forward, if possible, on this section, so that we can get further on the rear, into the rear of our enemies. Come on, man, please hurry up. Currently it looks like we would still suffer a minor defeat. But right now we are winning and we are about to outflank our enemies once more. We have the 6th Virginia over here. Let's engage them. We have the 3rd New Hampshire infantry on the fence line, giving them some cover. And I wonder if he can send 3rd Rhode Island this far around the flank. We are suffering some morale penalties as there are routed units nearby. But so far this battle is looking rather fine. We are running out of ammunition, we only have 18 rounds left. And we suffered 85 casualties. Right now it looks like we are not getting shot at ourselves. The 6th Virginia seems to focus on the 3rd New Hampshire. Over here the 2nd New York is battling the enemy bravely. And the 1st District of Columbia Cavalry is opening up on the enemy. Their whole carbine has really good range, it seems. 3rd Rhode Island is moving very slowly, but they're already exhausted, therefore I'm going to let it slide. And we have driven back the 6th Virginia. No, we cannot deploy any more skirmishers. We are already too close to the enemy. We have the 12th Virginia falling back. Soldiers, move forward. And 3rd Rhode Island is unwilling or unable to cross this defensive line. More of our forces are coming up. Exhaustion is starting to take a toll on the men. Over here, more of our reinforcements are coming up, and the first enemy units have deployed in Fredericksburg. And right now it looks like we are going to have a minor victory. McCown's detachment has taken over some artillery. Let's make sure that they cannot hurt us with it. And the men from Rhode Island have finally crossed the defensive line and are coming up to our aid. Desperately needed, as we only have 14 rounds left. And over here the entire center of the Confederate army has broken. 3rd Georgia, another strong brigade, is still on the field. And over here the 12th North Carolina is trying to regroup. Let's get our New Yorkers forward and finish them off. Over here, Rhode Island needs to prepare for our march on Prospect Hill. Yes, very good. 3rd Georgia is now falling back. And the 12th North Carolina is also in a state of panic. I am very happy with this fight so far. Let's just hope that we can finish off the rebel army quickly before too many of their reinforcements arrive. Their forces down here have still not made contact with us. They are deploying on the field, and some of them are already exhausted. But we can see that they have some strong regiments. And I made an unfortunate misclick. Soldiers, move forward. Some shots are getting exchanged over here. Let's get our men forward. We now unfortunately have to wait a little bit as our forces cannot keep up with us. Let's get some skirmishers out to keep the enemy moving. We have the 9th Virginia trying to reform over here. Let's get our skirmishers over to this section. Rhode Island is still coming up. They are absolutely exhausted. And their skirmishers might be able to destroy the 1st North Carolina cavalry, as we should have the massive range advantage over them. The 6th Virginia has withdrawn to the far left of the enemy line. And our skirmishers are very well protected behind this line. Cavalry is coming up. Let's get our New Yorkers forward. Rhode Island needs to march up over here to make sure that we are not getting outflanked. And maybe then they can also get a little bit of rest. Our skirmishers keep hunting the enemy. Very good, very good. And it looks like we just have to engage the enemy to drive them back now. Let's just hope that more reinforcements are coming up, and let's make sure and let us hope that the Confederate forces are going to stay back. If they get further reinforcements from the north, this almost guaranteed victory might not come together. Cavalry is now charging our enemies. Our skirmishers are nervous. They are completely out of the command range of our other forces. And ammunition is starting to run extremely low. Let's hope that our nervous skirmishers can keep it together. Yes, we are now opening fire on the enemy cavalry, on the enemy artillery. It looks like we might have also hit some of their commanders. And the battery is falling back. And I wonder if he should take over the enemy artillery. Oh well, it looks like they haven't given up their artillery pieces. Let's order our soldiers forward then. This detachment has arrived on our far outer flank. And the men from Rhode Island can move forward. Our other reinforcements are still stuck behind. Let's hope they can keep up. I don't want to have to win this battle completely on my own. Especially if the rebels were able to regather their strength. The 1st North Carolina and these forces could be a massive danger. 31st New York is coming up. Finally some friendly units. And over here the 4th North Carolina battery is setting up again. Let's send Styles detachment forward. Maybe a couple volleys on their exhausted infantry is enough to drive them back. Come on, man. Everyone forward. More of our forces are coming up. And we are now contesting Prospect Hill. Some of their forces are trying to regroup and falling back further. We have 17 o'clock, meaning that we are running out of daylight now. Enemy cavalry is coming up. Let's hope that these skirmishers are not simply going to be beaten back. Or worse, getting overrun. But it looks like we are able to drive their cavalry back almost without resistance. Very good. Our soldiers are opening fire. The enemy is soon going to fire back, but we heavily outnumber them. Our morale should be good enough. And Styles detachment is coming up to deliver some fire on the enemy infantry to make sure that they do not rush into our flank. Our friends from Rhode Island, I do not know if they will arrive in time. And the 31st New York is now rushing forward. Let's hope that they are not going to block our field of fire. The New Yorkers are now rushing forward. And I want our soldiers to march up on the enemy flank. They should make sure that we have still a field of fire on them. Very good. And the detachment of our skirmishers can start to attack enemy infantry. We just need to keep them wavering and occupied until we have successfully taken the hill. The 31st New York is now completely outflanked. But now that the fire of our skirmishers has started, this changes. And we are now opening up on the cavalry flank. Very good. We have 8 rounds of ammunition left. And over here cavalry is attacking the 4th North Carolina battery. This detachment needs to get forward. Our other skirmishers are about to be broken. The 31st New York was repelled. They are now broken. They are falling back. Rhode Island is still struggling to get forward. And the rest of our army is still not advancing. We have a victory here at our fingertips, but nothing is happening. And we have captured Prospect Hill. We now need to hunker down for the night and make sure that our forces do not break. The 14th North Carolina is still fighting. Our skirmishers are hunting them. They only have 4 rounds left. And Styles detachment needs to get forward. They still have a lot of ammunition. Our main force also only has 7 rounds left. And the 1st Vermont cavalry is coming up. But they're also almost out of ammunition. And this day has ended. The troops got some resupply, with the exception of our own forces. The battle begins and we are immediately under pressure. And I don't know what happened during the night, but after a couple looks on the battlefield, I found out that our own detachment and the detachment from Rhode Island are hunkering down on our previous position, while the 3rd Rhode Island Infantry is set behind the enemy lines, while our own regiment is set over here at the far corner of the battlefield. We now have the problem that if enemy reinforcements arrive from this direction, we will be cut off and annihilated. And we are completely cut off from any form of help. Rhode Island also starts immediately under fire of the enemy. Come on, men, you have their flank exposed. Open fire, open fire, open fire. And these detachments can only do so much to hold the enemy back. Very good, we hit them at least. And hopefully we can hold out here. Our own forces are now trying to push up. At least I hope so. Otherwise we will lose Prospect Hill and also we will lose a lot of our soldiers. And I am worried about the enemy reinforcements. It looks like they might come from this direction after all. 38th New York is coming up, but it is going to take them a while until they're there. And honestly, the longer they stay out of the fight, the better for them. We are battling the 13th New York. We are battling the 13th North Carolina and the 14th North Carolina. Enemy cavalry is also coming up. And our skirmishers are still holding out over here. And I've decided to take over the 5th New York Infantry. And I'm going to do a desperate maneuver to try and break our soldiers out. 3rd Rhode Island is still battling the enemy, but they're completely outnumbered. Let's withdraw further up the mountain. Help is on the way. And it looks like the Confederates are trying to charge us. Over here, this detachment is about to be broken. I don't think that the enemy can actually hit them. Oh yes, they can. They have better rifles than us. Well, let's get our soldiers forward then. 3rd Rhode Island is outflanked. Come on, man. Fall back, fall back, fall back, fall back. If you somehow can, fall back. Yeah, the morale is now wavering. And there's really not much that we can do at this point. 12th Virginia is over here, and the rest of the enemy forces is currently slaughtering the 3rd Rhode Island. If there a way around the enemy, we could try to make a run for it over on this direction. We could also try to get around here. I am not happy with either of these options. But let's try to make sure that the New Yorkers do not get slaughtered as well. Fifth New York is coming up. They are trying to make contact with the enemy. And our own defensive line is simply holding back over on this direction. Pond's detachment is in battle. Stein's detachment is falling back. The soldiers are trying to run. Well, I don't think they themselves know where they're running. If this continues, they will be completely destroyed. Third Rhode Island already suffered 300 casualties. And the 5th New York, there maybe we can deliver some fire on the 6th Virginia and make sure that these soldiers can get back to our main line. Ponce detachment is also there to try to hold them back. And we have received notice that Steins is losing men left, right and center. He is missing in action and 360 of his soldiers have fallen. Fifth New York now fall back to our main line. They're about to hammer our flank. Ponce detachment is now also falling back, and our New Yorkers are trying to regroup. How is the overall situation looking like? We have received some reinforcements and a couple of our forces are battling the vanguard of the rebels. And over on Fredericksburg area, more forces of the rebel armies are marching up. I think we still have the manpower majority, but if we do not get a move on, we can still lose this battle. Our New Yorkers are further withdrawing on the flank, and maybe they are soon able to reconnect with our mainline. Over here the 5th New York is trying to withdraw, and they're falling back under fire, but this is quite terrible for the morale. But the 6th Virginia is quite depleted themselves, and we should be able to get back here. Once we've reached our own line, we have artillery and everything else that we need to hold them back. And these skirmishers have decided to run into their own death. I wanted to order them to get back to our mainline, but as soon as I got in contact with them, they decided to sprint for their parent unit. Man, at this point, it's better to lay down your weapons. Yes, 34 casualties, 40, 46, 51. Yeah, they are all gone. They are all destroyed. They have either surrendered or they were all slaughtered. We hear some gunfire in the distance. And we can see that over here our forces are in a bit of trouble. The 2nd New Jersey State Militia is holding back the 1st South Carolina Cavalry, but they're heavily outnumbered. Over here the 1st New Jersey State Militia is not engaging. Let's hope that they at least get some artillery support. Further in this direction we are holding up on the bridgehead and we are shelling the enemy, but we would need those soldiers to come to our aid. Over here our rear is exposed. We do not really have a defensive line to our south, and High Command is unwilling to push back those few enemies over here. Some skirmishing units are in contact with the enemy. Let's get some skirmishers from Pond out. Maybe he can get the flank of the 6th Virginia. And our New Yorkers are still withdrawing. They're now on this side of the battlefield. They are tired, they're out of ammunition, they're completely cut off. And it looks like the 9th Virginia is coming to our flank. They only have 295 soldiers left, meaning that even in our exhausted state we should be able to destroy them. Well, things are developing. Our New Yorkers have almost made it back to our main line. Let's try to get them reconnected with our forces. Further on this section, some of our forces are setting up. Let's have a look how the situation to our north is looking like. These forces were completely annihilated. These artillery pieces are going to be destroyed. The bulk of the Confederate army can march by our forces, and these soldiers are still bunkering down on this bridgehead. Right now they are dueling the 7th Virginia Battery. And I wish that these forces would push up before they get all torn to bits. The 5th New York got flanked. I wasn't paying enough attention to our northern section. And our New Yorkers are coming up to save the day once more. This flank is completely open and no one is doing anything about it. And I wish I could get contact. And I wish I could get some units with the Springfield rifle musket, but it doesn't look like any are available. Well, the 4th Maine Infantry will have to do. Infantry, be ready to fire at long range and march forward. Someone needs to protect this flank. 9th New York is wavering. 31st New York is falling back. 16th New York is falling back. And 3rd Rhode Island is somehow back on the battlefield. They are seen as stable. And they only have 506 soldiers remaining. Let's try to make sure that they keep out of the battle. Over here some Confederate forces are falling back. New York, push further to our main line. Currently we are looking at a minor defeat. But if our forces would simply start to attack, we would still have the option to win this. 4th Maine is coming up. 3rd Rhode Island is holding back, and I wonder where the New Yorker unit went that unfortunately got driven back. There they are. Commander, try to rally your forces. Let's have a look on the other side of the battle. Confederate reinforcements are making their way up, and more forces are marching over the Telegraph Road. But the majority of them is still stuck in Fredericksburg. Over here our New Yorkers are finally back with our main line. 5th New York morale is unstable. And as we are about to encounter the first rebel forces on this section, I want them to set up a defensive line over here. Maybe with that we can deliver some fire on their approaching cavalry. 3rd Rhode Island is not going to be engaged. They're about to be broken as is. Forces detachment is coming up. Maybe they want to get some artillery pieces. Let's make sure that we are going to greet them. And our New Yorkers also have to march up. We have the 14th North Carolina coming up. And we are now attacking those skirmishers. Over here our artillery is nervous. I do not know why they haven't lost a single soul. And our flank is still open and vulnerable. We need to drive back our enemies, or at least do something with this flank, otherwise our forces will be completely destroyed. Our New Yorkers are battling enemy cavalry. They are already wavering once more. And they're trying to fall back under fire. We have some help here. The 14th New York State Militia is fighting with the Mississippi Rifle. So hopefully our rear is going to be protected for a little while. Enemy skirmishers are still on the battlefield. They're getting outflanked. And still haven't taken a single casualty. And as it currently looks like, they are having their rear exposed to us. A wonder that they're not dead. More forces are coming up. The 6th Virginia is coming down with 237 men lost already. They have 380 still remaining on the field. And I wonder if the 3rd Rhode Island is willing to fire off a couple more rounds. Over here the New Yorkers are in a tough time. Come on, Matt. Fall back a little. Fourth Massachusetts is now taking casualties. Our New Yorkers also have suffered about 100 casualties. Those skirmishes are still unwilling to die. The 14th North Carolina is down here. And I wonder if the men from Rhode Island are willing to give off another volley on those soldiers from North Carolina. And we are currently driving them back. Very good, very good. We are driving them back on this flank. How is our rear looking? While the Confederates captured a little bit of artillery, and over here they're also pushing up, but they do not seem to have a lot of infantry over here. In the meantime, the bridgehead is getting attacked ever harder, and more of their forces are coming up. It looks like they have now all left Fredericksburg. The 17th Georgia is coming up, meaning that we cannot push forward to attack those artillery pieces. Let's hope that we can finish off this section in the north and then focus further on the south. The 4th Maine is doing a fantastic job, the 38th on New York as well. And the men from Rhode Island are still on the battlefield, even though they've already suffered so much. We have the 12th North Carolina coming up. And if they're willing to push over here, we can easily flank them. Our artillery is now battling Confederate artillery that has set up over here. These are only a couple detachments. And if we are lucky, the 17th Georgia will be driven back quickly, and then we can start to attack the artillery line. 12th North Carolina is opening fire. Our artillery over here is still nervous. And we are able to hit them. I want our New Yorkers to get forward a little bit. Yes, very good, very good. We are driving the 12th North Carolina back. Let's get forward then. And if possible, a detachment of our soldiers is going to take over these artillery pieces. With that, we should be able to drive them the 12th Virginia and the 13th North Carolina with ease. Over here we have the cavalry under the 1st North Carolina Cavalry coming up. And I still do not like the situation in our rear. But it looks like we were able to drive back the 17th Georgia. Meaning that I'm willing to send... Well, I was willing to send the 5th New York forward to attack those soldiers and then attack the artillery. But right now I think this might not be a wise decision, as more Confederate reinforcements are coming up. In this case, gentlemen, stay over here and wait so that the enemy is coming to us. The 13th North Carolina is starting to take fire from our New Yorkers. Come on, man, capture those field guns. and the 4th main has laid down. Let's get forward, man. And let's get Rhode Island forward as well. Over here we have Jackson's detachment coming up to secure this area. And we are inflicting a couple more casualties on the 1st Louisiana. Let's get our New Yorkers forward so that we can get the 12th Virginia. And Barry's detachment is apparently able to shell the enemy. It doesn't look like they are on the guns, but now they are starting to move. I want the men from Maine to march up on this flank. And Rhode Island is going to set up close to our artillery. Very good, very good. Barry's detachment has suffered 11 casualties. But we have artillery now present on the battlefield. Our New Yorkers are marching forward to the 12th Virginia. And we are starting to run out of ammunition. We are tired and we have almost suffered 100 casualties. This fight is still looking like a minor defeat, even though we did so much damage to the enemy. And over here the bridgehead collapsed. Meaning that now the bulk of the Confederate reinforcements can focus on our rear. To the north, it doesn't look like the enemy is getting any more reinforcements. At least not for the moment. And some of their forces are setting up near Prospect Hill. My goal is, if anyhow possible, to hunt them down. After that, we do not have to focus on the north anymore, and can focus all of our attention to the south. This battle is going on far too long now. Let's just hope that the Confederates are getting tired and are not going to launch their attack on our rear. Third Rhode Island is opening fire. They're taking heavy casualties. But they're now finally in contact with the enemy cavalry. Our New Yorkers are coming up in pursuit. Rhode Island focus on the Louisiana infantry. And over here the men from Maine are coming up. Very good fire from these soldiers from Rhode Island, and they have a vengeance. First Louisiana has taken 164 casualties. Enemy cavalry is coming up once more. Come on, men, get ready. Our New Yorkers are coming up. They're down to 5 rounds, and we have these soldiers from Maine also coming up. Further on this side, the enemy cavalry has regained their strength and enemy artillery is still shelling us. Otherwise, their forces are setting up and they are slaughtering the 3rd New Jersey and the 4th New Jersey State Militia. And once more it looks like we are facing a minor defeat. I guess because of the heavy casualties our reinforcements are taking. My biggest fear is that the Confederates get more reinforcements from these areas. Then we are completely annihilated. I want these forces to set up further on the brink of the forest. Or better, no. We can now start to withdraw. This section of the front line is clear. There is not really a threat coming from this direction for now. Let's not overextend and waste our manpower. The men from Rhode Island are going to be set to the far edge of our line. And now it is simply time to wait and see if the enemy is coming to us. As we are trying to withdraw, we are getting hit by a couple enemy units. The 4th main is holding them back, very good, and now withdraw further. Our New Yorkers are now getting outflanked, they're getting rear flanked. Let's hope we can reach our line before the enemy reaches us. Morale is wavering. Come on, Commander, ready your soldiers. Oh, and better move on the double. Our artillery is now starting to open up. We have a 3-inch ordnance rifle. And our own artillery line is now opening up on the rebels that are in pursuit. Our soldiers are exhausted. And we are finally back in cover. Further down here, the enemy cavalry is starting to attack us once more. But we should be able to hold them back. More enemy forces are starting to set up over here. And the rebel forces are now trying to break through our lines. We have an officer rushing through our lines. Or maybe we can shoot him down. And over here we have the 1st North Carolina coming up once more. Our New Yorkers only have 5 rounds. And they're going to empty them into the 12th Virginia. Barry's detachment is falling back. I cannot blame them. And over here the 3rd Rhode Island needs to get forward to attack the 13th North Carolina. Our soldiers from Maine are also going to get forward and going to battle them. Over here Bernard's detachment is rushing forward. And further down here the first enemy forces have arrived. 18th Georgia is coming up with 840 soldiers. But we should be able to hold them back rather easily. If they get forward just a little bit more, our New Yorkers can also get in on the fighting. Well, it looks like we have to get our men forward just a little bit. And over here, more enemy forces are coming up. The enemy counterattack over on this section has stopped. Our soldiers from Maine can get back into cover. And Rhode Island is, through willpower alone, still on the battlefield. Our New Yorkers are getting flanked, they need to wheel around. And this unit from Georgia is falling back. Commander, rally your soldiers, make sure that they are not going to fall back. The 51st Virginia is opening up on our artillery. We have 10-pounder pellet rifles, not good for melee action but very good on long distance fighting. And we have Huggers. And it looks like we have Hugger over here running through our own lines. I don't know what he wants to do. It would be wise for him to surrender. No reinforcements are coming from the north, and it looks currently that we are going to have a minor victory. Let's hope that the Confederates are going to leave the field soon. Over here, massive amounts of the Confederate army are hunting scattered Union forces. And they're setting up apparently another line over here and messing up their soldiers over here. But not many of them are engaging us currently. These New Yorkers are battling the 11th South Carolina and they're doing a very good job, but they've also already taken over 120 casualties. And they're also slowly running out of ammunition. Casualties from our New Yorkers are extremely high. I need to send them to fall back. They have taken 150 casualties already. Let's hope that we can lure this unit in so that they are going to get outflanked and then annihilated. Over here, counter battery fire is going to start to take a toll on the enemy, and the 51st Virginia is lying down to get a little bit of protection. Further north, 6th Virginia is still getting hit by artillery fire, otherwise their forces have stopped moving. Our line is still the only thing protecting this flank. Very good, very good. We have the 11th South Carolina coming up for the next attack, and right now we are on their flank. Nothing else is happening, but we're looking once more at a minor defeat. I guess we took too many casualties from our reinforcements that are still getting hunted relentless by the Confederate Army. 21st Georgia and 9th South Carolina are currently slaughtering the 3rd New York State Militia. We have 17 o'clock. Let's hope that this battle is not going to drag out too much, or at least that we get the reinforcements and the resupply that we desperately need. Nightfall is about to set in, so let's have a look how our casualties are looking like. So far we have lost over 3,600 of our soldiers, meaning that 12% of our force got killed or wounded, while the Confederacy has suffered over 5,100 casualties and almost lost a quarter of their force. Let's hope that these losses are going to break them their neck and allow us to achieve victory. The day is now over, and once more it looks like we haven't received any resupply. And currently it looks like we are going to be encircled by the Confederate Army. Well, at least our New Yorkers got a little bit of resupply, and the 4th Maine is deployed directly in front of the enemy. To make sure that the 4th Maine does not suffer as heavily as Rhode Island, I'm ordering them to charge up to our own position. And the 38th New York also needs to get the hell out of their current position. I'm going to send them back here. And I'm also going to order them on the double. The 5th New York is deployed over on this section. They're going to withdraw further to our center. And the Rhode Island unit is deployed away from our own forces again. I'm going to send them immediately down here. Let's hope that we can get our soldiers out without taking too many unnecessary casualties. 4th Maine is fighting in close combat, and they are going to be driven back soon. They do not really have a chance there. But they were able to rout an enemy unit. It looks like their position on the enemy flank is actually quite good for their own survival. But now more Confederate forces are coming up. Let's try to get our soldiers out. Okay, we have routed another unit, and now they are coming to our rear. Okay, man. Run, 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 run. We have inflicted a lot of casualties. Now they are broken, they are falling back. But we have done whatever we could to help here. These New Yorkers, I want them to take position over here. But we don't have to. The enemy is now on the retreat, and we have achieved a major victory. And this is also our first combat victory in this campaign. After this very long fight, we have finally achieved our first major victory. and we have gotten a lot of prestige out of it. Our army suffered 2,400 infantry losses, 500 losses amongst our cavalry, and 32 of our artillery pieces were destroyed. In total, 4,000 of our soldiers were killed or wounded. On the side of the Confederacy, over 3,100 infantry were killed or wounded. The same goes for 994 of their cavalrymen, and they have lost 32 of their 34 artillery pieces. In total, 5,570 of their men were killed. And there we have the headlines that we have worked so hard for. Glorious victory at Aquia Harbour. Lee's division is fleeing in a panic, and Lieutenant Colonel Skolum loses face. Lieutenant Colonel Martin loses face, and the support for the rebel cause wavers. So let's have a look how this affects the battle map. We can see that the Army of the Potomac is getting closer to Manassas Junction, and the Army of Virginia, Lee's division, and Hugger's division are still bunkering down. Currently they are not moving. The Army of the Peninsula is marching further north to Washington, and I think that this is a good point to end this battle. But first we should have a look how the situation around Washington looks like, or at least around Manassas Railroad Junction. Army of the Shenandoah is clashing with them. Multiple of their units routed. Let's hope that this is going to be the next victory. But currently it does look more like a defeat for the unit, judging from how many soldiers are fleeing battle. And we are now offered a promotion. As the former commander of the Militia Brigade 4th Division Army of the Northeastern Virginia, Colonel Johnson was reported wounded in action in a recent engagement, and we have been offered command of his unit, totaling 1,259 men. And of course, we are going to accept that. Emboldened by our recent success, the US government wants Europe not to intervene, and the Union blockade was proclaimed legal. A new chapter in trade warfare begins, and European trade slows down. Confederate forces have withdrawn from their previous positions, and fighting amongst Manassas Railroad Junction is still going on. And now we have officially a new command. I'm a bit sad that we have to leave our New Yorkers behind, but let's have a look on our new brigade. The 1st and the 2nd New Jersey State Militia are armed with the Springfield rifle musket, giving us a lot more firepower than we previously had. But the 3rd and 4th New Jersey State Militia still holds the Springfield musket. We are currently also wearing grey, meaning that we have to be careful for friendly fire. And we are able to order some Springfield rifle muskets for our soldiers. Unfortunately, they're extremely expensive, meaning that we cannot do this right now, but soon we will get our soldiers equipped with better weapons. For now we will have to send a couple units home. The 1st New Jersey State Militia is down to 204 soldiers. They definitely need to get replenished, and the same goes for the 4th New Jersey Militia, who only have 291 men remaining. The 2nd and the 3rd still have a couple more soldiers, but as soon as our other regiments get back, those two are going to be sent home to replenish as well. But this is going to be it for now. We have got a lot done in this episode, and I'm happy that we were able to achieve our first combat victory and that we are now in command of a brigade. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and until we meet again, I wish you all a great time.